Now, we've been joined all night, and we're very fortunate, by Liberty 37. They have sat in our Swansea studios from 9 o'clock until now. They're going to be there until midnight. This is the amount of effort that some bands put in to projecting their wares, projecting their talent. We should be very, very grateful. We have another couple of exclusive session tracks from them, and they are, as I say, I hope, still in our Swansea studios. For the sake of it, I do genuinely believe this. Bands who haven't got a nano bit particle of your talent being raised and trumpeted above their station and actually doing very well. And the sense that maybe when people read about Liberty 37 now, they'll be thinking, ooh, this band, they're kind of jumping onto that bandwagon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
It's always frustrating, that really, and it's always been a truism of our career, in inverted commas. I mean, all the recent press that's coming out over this album now, almost in every single review, it just says, compared to Stained or X, Y, and Z, these bands are great, except, instead of selling millions, they're, still playing to small crowds. But, I mean, there's nothing we can really do about that apart from do what we do. I think there's always been a glamour about American bands coming over here, which the press pick up on, and it is... And you have the big expensive MTV videos, and it's I guess it's, if you're a sort of a young music fan, it is genuinely exciting. It's not exciting thinking there's 4 old Welsh gits down the road doing the same thing. But I don't know what can you do? You can't get too bitter about it.
No,
you
can.
Well, you can.
Well, I do.
Good for you.
Go and sabotage their vans or like their big limousine things with naked girls. No, actually, don't do that. Just invite me round.
Join in, yeah.
Ah, dear me. Shouldn't be thinking about things like that now. It's all become very surreal all of a sudden.
Sunday, yeah.
What do you think, of the current state of, not necessarily the British music scene, but certainly the scene that you're kind of tagged into? Kerrang, obviously, have been great supporters of you in the past. But do you feel as though that's a cul-de-sac that you could end up trapped in?
Good question. Twink?
Yes, I think it probably is. I mean, there's not much you can do about that. Let's say we play the music we play, and as you mentioned before, I think we are better than a lot of these big American bands that do seem to be doing well because we haven't got the money behind us, we haven't got the image, but we just write pretty interesting songs. That's, I mean, the Inky press, the Enemy and whatever, I've never been interested in it for whatever reason. It's always been the rock press that have championed us. So we are going to get pigeonholed in that sense. What can you do? We are allowed, guitar band.
There is an advantage to all of this, even though it might not be immediately apparent. Obviously, when you've got a lot of American rock bands coming over. Currently, all probably having had more or less the same kind of life experiences. To have a British band, a Welsh band, doing that, singing from a totally different perspective, it's got to add to the canon, hasn't it? The genre, or whatever canon.
I think so. Yes, I mean it does broaden it. Yeah, obviously. I think one of our problems, Isha Singer's always saying that the reason we don't sell many more records is the fact that he doesn't sound like Eddie Vedder.
More power to his vocal cords for that, then.
Well, exactly. But he has got a great voice, which is all his own, and it does diversify the scene, I suppose. You always need bands doing different things.
And it's a git, actually, isn't it, when you've got to share a voice with someone, especially when you're on tour and they're playing that same night.
Yes, exactly. But does simply this current crop of American bands are very, very similar sounding, some of them. I mean, the ones at the top are, I guess, pretty good. But then there's there's three or four third division behind them, just copyists, and that kind of galls a little.
Yeah, I'm really jealous because obviously you've got a jug of water or something.
We have,
I'm stuck in this studio by myself. No chance of getting out to get water.
No.
And obviously until I play another song of yours, which I want to stay in here and listen to. What a quandary.
No, go get yourself a drink, mate.
Yeah, right, you talk among yourselves.
Okay.
Don't say anything nasty.
No, shan't do.
I'm not going to do that, actually. I'd be scared. Because I did do that once before. When I came back, my ears were burning. Right, the next track that we're going to play is all of myself. And this is one of my favourite songs of yours.
Oh, good.
He said, blushing. I couldn't tell you why it's one of my favourite songs of yours. I think that the skill that Liberty 37 have, which an awful lot of bands don't seem to have currently, is to take the basic ingredients and do something that's slightly different. a bit opaque, and this,
Right.
I think, is a good example of that. Now, I can't ask you to explain how that happens, because no one can explain magic.
No, we
No,
can't.
it's magic.
But when you're recording something like this, not necessarily for the session, because the recorded version of this, you've obviously paid a lot of attention. So, what kind of attention were you paying?
Not a lot, really, to be honest.
See, magic mystery. You just destroyed it all.
It was basically, a lot of it came from Rod. Our drummer that we have here.
Yeah.
It was his magic on that track. I
Go
would
on
say.
then, Rod. Tell us
on,
about
Rod.
your magic.
Tell us about what you did to that
My
track.
magic, it was Sunday morning,
Yeah.
I think, and I hadn't long got up.
Best time.
Best time for me, and that was it. Really.
I think you only heard it like once or
Yeah, it was
twice
like
beforehand.
Second
went
take
for it,
we did,
yeah.
Yeah, second take, and he just jammed it, and I think it gave it a whole new life.
Yeah, well, it's good
Caught
that,
it.
that it was that simple, and yet I thought it was really I didn't think it was, like, dead complicated, but you know what I mean.
I think it was fairly simple at first. It sounded like sort of sub Foo Fighters when we first wrote it.
Yeah.
But
But the acoustic ones, didn't we?
we did do an acoustic version at the Ponte Derby Festival last year. Yeah,
Fantastic.
which was very simple. But I
Very
think
different, yeah.
what we did was we changed a couple of chords in the chorus, and Rod put his interest in drums on it, and it
Got
and
rid
it
of the
sort
banjo.
Oh, that.
Turned down the band. Yeah.
And the Olin solo after too.
Do you know what? We're going to play it now, because otherwise it's going to get silly.
Yes, it is.
This is Liberty 37 and All of Myself. That's the third exclusive session track. Sorry, I'm having trouble with my maths tonight, but only the third.